Hey guys, I'm going to be giving you the very best tips to go ahead and get to thousands of waves, make millions of credits, and so much more here inside of Zombie Survival Arena. This is the very best method and tips that you need to know if you want to make super high waves and make a ton of money here inside of the game. Potentially even getting yourself on one of these leaderboards over here, because it is very much possible with these methods that I'm about to show you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get running this video. By the way, as always, if you guys do want to be entered in my Game Pass giveaway, all you guys have to do is leave a like on this video, comment your name down below, and do make sure you hype the video. And then I'll be doing a Robux giveaway in my Discord server like usual. Anyways, let's get into the video. Now, the very first thing that we're going to need for this method, right? We're not using a glitch right now. I will show you some glitches in this video that will help you on certain maps, but yeah, I'll kind of get into that in a second. So the very first thing you need to do is head over to your shop right here. Now, for me, I have kind of a pay to win weapon at the start. I paid like 1,000 Robux for this. I would not recommend that. Obviously, you need to just level up until you have, good weapons. But as you can see, I have the World Ender as my top weapon, right? Because that is better than the Galactic Weaver over here. So if you head over to this right here, you need to make sure you have the Bastion unlocked. This is the method that I'm using. And the reason why I'm doing this is because you don't need the Celestial class, and it's relatively easy to get if you just play a bunch of rounds, especially if you play them with your friends. It only costs around $5. Now, at first, you're not going to really do too much damage because you haven't actually upgraded this. So the next thing you need to make sure you do is you need to head over here to your upgrades and upgrade every single part of this. So I didn't know this for a while. I guess I just didn't realize there's actually a gears thing up here that you can toggle and you can upgrade your gears. So go ahead and upgrade the laser turret, pretty much everything with the Bastion class. I haven't switched. I need to go ahead and switch that real quick, actually. Boom, equip this. So you need to upgrade the shelter, the laser turret. I mean, honestly, really, if you're doing anything, you need to target these two here first, which are going to be the laser. You need to target these two right here first, the laser turret and the drone, upgrading these, and then you can upgrade the shelter, because we're not going to really be using the shelter too much inside of this. I'm also going to show you a method to do with your friends if you have more people, but if you're doing it solo, this is what you need to do. Go ahead, upgrade this to max. As you can see, the damage is 60 and the range is 120, and then obviously also up these, so you have max drones at 10, your health is 125, and your damage is 420. So now let's go ahead and get into the map that you're going to want to do this on. This is my recommendation for you guys. So you want to head over to Rooftop Siege. I'm going to go on hardcore mode because it's going to give me more per round. And now technically you can do nightmare mode, but the method isn't going to work anywhere near as well on this. So honestly, I wouldn't recommend doing nightmare mode. Do hardcore and then create it with one player. Now, like I've said in past videos, I'll show you a bunch of glitches in this video, but the main thing isn't the glitches, it's the strategies and the pro tips that people use to get super high waves. So I'm going to let my real weapon load in real quick. And then I'm going to turn off auto skip in a second. So when you're first starting, you can turn on auto skip because you're going to need to kind of wipe through all of these zombies, if we're being completely honest, and you're wanting to do it pretty quickly. So the very first thing I do is I'm just going to buy up a bunch of drones, because that's going to make killing all these mobs a heck of a ton easier in the beginning. Now, this is like a little bit of a process, but I promise you, this is going to be 100% worth it. So I'm going to kill up all of these and then upgrade my gun and stuff like that in a second. Now, the thing to note about this map is that the zombies, as you can see, are only spawning on the same ground level that I'm currently on, which is right here, which means a lot of different things for us, which I'll show you in a second. But just note that they're only spawning on the ground right now. Now, really quickly, I'll show you a glitch while I'm kind of getting all this upgraded stuff. This glitch is pretty overpowered, but as you guys can see, if you actually go ahead and stand right here, you're going to see that the mobs are actually going to run up the stairs and not come for you. Now, this isn't super duper helpful because then they can obviously, attack your turrets that we're going to be placing. But if, especially in the beginning, if you're kind of having a hard time and you need to kill them, you can stand right here and they're not going to go ahead and attack you. So as you can see, we're starting to make a good amount of money. It's taking a bit, again, because we're not in like nightmare mode or anything like that. So we're going to need to just farm this for a second to kind of get enough to do it. I'm going to go ahead and get a bunch of turrets in. That way they can start killing it even faster. But we basically just need to level up our cash flow. It's like that. So the first turret's only going to cost 300, but we're going to save up a little bit more. And the reason why is you'll see in a second. But this method is very, very good. So I'm going to continue to just fight off these guys. Now, since we have enough to buy a couple, what you're going to do is we're going to turn off auto skip and we're going to kind of finish off this right here. So turn off auto skip once you're ready to start placing the turrets down. So I'm going to continue to wait. There's still a bunch spawning in. This is hardcore mode. So it looks like the wave's pretty much over. There's one zombie left. Nothing spawned in quite yet. So I'm going to go ahead and just spam a bunch of turrets up here. And then I'm going to jump off of this because you don't want them to spawn. So wait until this little thing pops up and then make sure you've jumped off there by then. Now, what you'll see is that none of the things are actually spawning up there on the towers where the turrets are actually located. And this is strictly because they're only going to spawn on the same level you are. So if you go up onto these levels, they'll spawn up there because that's the same level that you're on, which a lot of people don't realize this. So the zombies will never spawn up here as long as you're never up here. So I'm going to turn back on auto skip. That way we can get through this a little bit quicker. But again, like I said, if you place them up here, you're going to have a really good run at it. Now, I'm also going to show you a method to gaining a lot more crystals from these different waves and a bunch of other things. So make sure you stay tuned for this. Now, I'm going to show you how you can get to these super, super high waves waves extremely quickly. Now, obviously, I have this pretty overpowered gun, but you can do this exact same method without it. You just need the Bastion class or some class that has these type of turrets. Now, I'm going to get the rest of my drones. That way we can kind of mow through these a little bit easier. And I'm going to try to save up a bunch of these credits. But this is by far the best method. I probably could get to like wave 3000 in this video. And that's kind of my goal, is to get to a super high wave using this method and kind of build out the whole thing. That way you guys have a better overall view of this. So I'm going to continue to place all this down. So I've got another 3000 that I want to use. So I'm going to place down all of this, and I'm going to go up there in a second once they've all stopped spawning in. And I'll have that little bit of a cooldown to go ahead and place it where it says, once it basically says wave complete, or there's basically none spawning in, there's still a bunch spawning in. So yeah, again, I don't want to go up there. I went up on the stair and then it ended up spawning in up there. So you don't want to go upstairs at all, or even jump or anything like that until the wave is over. So boom, the wave is cleared. We got pretty much 3 seconds or 5 seconds up here to place a bunch of these down. Jump down here, boom. And now again, nothing should spawn up there as long as we do not go up there, because they only spawn on the level that we are currently on. And it looks like they're doing a pretty good job of maintaining all of this. So I'm going to go ahead and just upgrade my weapon here in a second, because as you can see, I'm standing here and I'm pretty much having no problem between my turrets and these turrets. They're pretty much just wiping these out very quickly. I shouldn't die. As you can see, I've taken 0 damage. I'm going to buy the World Ender, which is going to help me shred through these even faster. So I need to put this back on auto skip, because we need to be auto skipping. Boom. But yeah, there we go. As you can see, I'm still able to do this with a kind of bad gun, honestly. So once you get a bunch of these turrets in, you should be pretty well off. Boom. World Ender. And now, as you guys can see, we can pretty much just destroy all of this stuff just by rotating around. Now, this is where we start buying a crazy amount of turrets. I'm going to go over here and collect these crystals because they're already over here. It's going to start kind of hectic and crazy. I'm going to also show you the method that you're going to use when you're using, like, playing with other people, if you're trying to get super high level waves, all that good stuff. So we have around 4,000, but that's not really enough to buy a ton of crates. So we're just going to kind of stand. I'm going to stand like right around here probably. But as you can see, we're now doing pretty decent damage. If you have the World Ender, you're pretty set. I'm not going to lie. You're pretty set off. Boom, 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 boom. As you guys can see, we're shredding through these, and we're not even taking any damage down there. As you can see, we've taken no damage. Our drones and then our lasers. I'm going to place down a lot more of them in a second. But yeah, we're doing a pretty good job at holding all of them off. And we're getting a lot of these crystals. So very, very broken. And continue just to keep doing this. But yeah, they're not really even getting a chance to spawn in. And the goal is going to be we're not going to really be able to cover this area up here, but it's going to be mainly kind of primarily these areas over here. Having them spawn in over here again isn't super good, especially if you're placing them right here. So we have around 13,000. So I'm going to turn off auto skip. That way we can actually recover after this wave and place down a bunch more without breaking our whole setup. Boom. It looks like things have stopped spawning in. So I'm just going to run up here real quick, place a bunch of stuff down. Boom. We just placed a bunch more down, and then jump back down here, and boom, just rinse and repeat this method. Fill up all these different things. We're going to turn auto skip back on because we need to get money faster. But yeah, we just keep placing these turrets down. And now that they're also, super high level, they're just kind of destroying everything. We're already on wave 33. So we're going to easily make it to the next couple hundred waves without pretty much any problem. So I'm going to continue to do this method and just show you more and more of it. And also, again, I'm going to try to get to wave like 5,000. But as you can see, I'm pretty much having no issue, especially with the Void Ender being upgraded. And the Void Ender has this little bar down here that kind of helps. So we're making a pretty good amount of money. We just need more of them to spawn in, honestly, because I need more money to place these down, because they now cost like 2,000 to place them down. But since they're not really getting broken, let's take a look at their health. Yeah, they're not getting broken at all. They haven't really lost any damage or anything like that. So the only things that have taken damage are my turrets, or my these guys right here. Those are the only things that have really taken damage. So for the most part, this is going to be pretty much bulletproof method. All right, so we've got like 24,000. So I'm going to go and place a bit more after this wave right here. We're kind of mowing through it though, honestly. We're not having really any problems with this wave, especially with me helping. So once this wave is pretty much done spawning stuff in, it looks like stuff is done being spawned in. So I'm going to just run up here, spam in a bunch more of these turrets, and boom, jump down here. Wave's cleared. The next wave's about to spawn in, and rinse and repeat, guys. This is so freaking broken. We're just getting more and more turrets, and they're not going up there. And I believe if we just stand still right here, we should pretty much have no mobs even hitting us. Especially, I think the strategy that a lot of people use is just standing over here in this corner. And yeah, they're not even able to hit me. They're not able to do anything to me. I can just spam this right here. They're getting kind of hot in all of this trash. So I will kind of probably put this in a time lapse or so, and then I'll get back to you once I get to the next upgrade. All right, so we're about to buy our next upgrade. As you guys can see, we're chilling. We're doing pretty good. I turned off auto skip. That way I can go ahead and do this next upgrade. But you can see that we're pretty much just obliterating all the waves. We have around 60,000 credit gems. Thought I turned auto skip off at least. It looks like it's just continuing to go. Boom. Turn this off, and we'll go ahead and just mow through the rest of these mobs. Guys, this method is working extremely well. Like, we're not even having really any problem doing it. Boom. And yeah, we're pretty much cleared that whole wave. I'm going to run up here. Nothing else is spawning in. So I didn't mean to place the bunker. That's a rookie mistake. I just wasted so much money. All right. And the wave started. So we don't want stuff spawning up there, obviously. obviously. So we're going to just not go back up there, but it killed pretty much everything that was up there. So I didn't mean to place the bunker. I don't really know how I'm going to destroy that, but it's not too much of a concern right now for me. But yeah, auto skip. We'll turn this back on. Actually, we don't want to turn that back on because we didn't even spend all of our stuff placing them. Kind of had a little bit of an error. So boom, got around 5 seconds to place all of these. Place them all down. Boom. Now we're going to turn back on auto skip, and I'll catch you guys once we have kind of filled out this area a little bit more than it is right now. Okay, so I'm going to turn off auto skip. We're going to kind of clear this wave out, and then I'm going to go ahead and place a bunch more down because I have 130,000 now. So I'm just going to kind of wait until this kind of settles down a little bit. There's not any more new ones spawning in, all that good stuff. Just stop this. Boom. This is pretty much done. So there's 5 seconds to basically spam place as many of these down as possible. Boom. Okay, we gotta get off the top of here. That way these things don't spawn in up there. I'm gonna shoot up there just to kind of protect. Okay, boom. Nothing else should be spawning up there now that we're up here. Super easy strat, guys. As you can see, we're again having no issues dying or anything like that. We're just standing here and pretty much everything's just getting taken down. Boom. That was a whole wave cleared just like that quick. I'm gonna turn auto skip back on, and I guess we'll just continue to clear waves. I'll probably stop at around wave 200 or something, maybe even less than that. But yeah, you guys get the picture. This is how good the method works. I may honestly just stop the video here because you guys can see you just keep scaling, just keep buying more of those, and you'll be good. You could honestly probably just buy like a bunker right here, just get in the shelter like this, and as you guys see, yeah, you're having no issues whatsoever, nothing spawning up there, and you're able just to continually kill. And you're also way safer in this if for whatever reason, and you also deal more damage inside of the bunker. As you guys can see, you deal 30% more damage, and your HP regenerates a lot faster, so you deal like way more damage as well. Definitely try using this method if you haven't already. It's probably the best out there right now inside of Zombie Survival Arena. But yeah, without further ado, that is pretty much it. If you guys did enjoy, please make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Helps out the channel a ton. You can easily get past these waves, get to super duper high wave levels. I've gotten to level like wave 3000 with this method, so definitely try using it. Anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video.